Some stories are meant to be told. Others should be left buried in silence. This is the story of what happened to us, deep inside a forgotten village, a place where the shadows watched, where the air itself whispered warnings. We thought we came to help. We had no idea. We were already being hunted. I never thought a simple college project could turn into the worst experience of my life. It was supposed to be easy, just a few weeks, doing KKN, a mandatory community service program for university students. I wasn't looking for adventure. I just wanted to get it over with. There were 6 of us: Ayu, Widya, Bhima, Anton, Wahyu, and me. Some of us were friends before, others were just acquaintances, classmates at best. But we figured we'd bond during the project. We had no idea how much we would need each other. The village we were assigned to was remote. I mean, really remote. It wasn't on Google Maps. The only way there was through a 3-hour drive past endless fields, across a broken wooden bridge, and finally, deep into the forest. Pak Prabhu, our supervisor, was the one who briefed us before we left. "Respect their traditions," he said. "This village, it's different. There are old ways here. You must not break them." At the time, I thought it was just a formality. You know, the usual. Respect the elders, be polite, don't be loud. I was wrong. When we arrived, it was late afternoon. The sun was dipping behind the trees, casting long shadows across the narrow dirt road. The villagers greeted us, but not with warmth. Their smiles were thin, their eyes cautious, almost fearful. It felt less like a welcome and more like a warning. 2 houses had been prepared for us, one for the girls, one for the boys. They stood at the very edge of the village, almost touching the forest line. The trees loomed tall and dark, their branches twisted into unnatural shapes. That first night, we were invited to a small welcoming ceremony. The village head, a frail old man with deep lines on his face, spoke in Javanese, his voice shaking. Vidya, who was fluent, later whispered to us what he said. "This land has guardians. Remember your place. Respect the unseen." At the time, we laughed it off nervously. Guardians, spirits. It sounded like superstition. We had no idea how real it would become. Our days were filled with simple tasks: teaching the village children, helping in the rice fields, repairing the broken community hall. It was peaceful, at least during the day. At night, the village changed. The air grew colder, heavier. The villagers locked themselves inside their homes well before sunset. And the forest came alive. Not with the sounds you would expect. Not crickets, not owls. Number, it was silent, dead silent, as if the entire jungle was holding its breath. There were rules we had to follow. No whistling after dark. No calling out someone's name loudly at night. No wandering into the forest without permission. Never, ever acknowledge anything strange you might see. It felt excessive, paranoid even, but we obeyed. At first, it started with little things. Vidya said she saw shadows moving at the edge of the trees. Anton kept losing things, his shoes, his phone charger, only to find them placed neatly by the front door. Ayu woke up one night, swearing she heard someone crying just outside our window. Then Bhima began to change. At first, it was subtle. He grew quiet, distracted, always looking toward the forest, as if listening to something we couldn't hear. One evening after dinner, I saw him standing alone by the trees. He wasn't moving, just staring into the darkness. I called out to him, but he didn't respond. When I got closer, he finally turned to me, smiling strangely, and said, "She's calling me." I asked him what he meant. He just laughed, a hollow, empty sound, and walked away. That night, Ayu told me she heard something too. Soft footsteps circling our house, and a sound, faint but clear, like tiny bells ringing. We tried to tell ourselves it was just the wind, or animals, anything but what it really was. But deep down, I think we all knew something was there. Something was watching us, and it was only a matter of time before it would make itself known. The feeling was unbearable. Something was closing in on us. Every step we took, the darkness followed. And then we heard it. A voice, but not human. "Leave, before it's too late." We tried to run, but we couldn't move. The forest had already claimed us.